Exactly. I went abroad. I mixed cultures, and I came back, and I'm still me.
Yeah.
I still have the fundamentals.
Yes.
But a lot of people deceive because the way you speak, the way you act, the way you think,
the way you dress.
well, especially you, because you're surrounded between countries that it's very hard for a woman to do anything.
Yep. But you see the power in what you have just said, or the crisis turned power. So it was a crisis of identity for all of us growing up. But now I realize that it is a powerful thing, and it is an opportune thing. And actually, corporates around the world, these big companies, they should be running towards these multicultural beings, because one, we're able to adapt. Two, we have the superpower ability to kind of fit into any realm. I have, thanks to my crisis, thanks to my inability to
thanks to my PTSD,
thanks to my many issues, I am able to walk into a room now and own it much faster than anybody else that's just grown up one way.
Because you have nothing to lose.
And because you've already lost. Experience.
Because we've had that experience. We've been thrown into the deep end in every way imaginable when it comes to cultural acceptance, right? We've been thrown into the deep end everywhere. So now I see it as an opportunity. So when I do my talks around the third culture opportunity, I usually end by saying that this isn't an issue of you not belonging anywhere. It's an issue of you belonging everywhere. We belong more so than what is, imposed upon us as what should be. We understand what should be here. We understand what should be there, and we're able to integrate.
On this podcast, we usually talk about this issue. I think even we mentioned it last week when we were talking about the amazing speech that the Crown Prince gave out. Shout out to CP.
Who's CP?
Crown Prince.
Oh, okay. Shout out MBS.
Of course. Of course. We put CP first because he's the Crown Prince first.
Shout out CP. Respect CP.
The thing is, a lot of people, when we first started this, there was a lot of questions about hey, you should be speaking in Arabic because there's more Saudis and Arabs that need to listen to what you're saying than people abroad.
Yes.
And I keep telling people that we're trying to export our culture. We're not trying to import a culture. There's already Thamania. There's a lot of Ilham. Shout out to Ilham. Nawaf.
There's so many platforms.
Ilham podcast.
Are you shading right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's a good friend of mine, but he's a pain in the ass. So Nawaf and Ilham. Okay.
He demands recognition on a constant basis.
So these guys are doing it in Arabic and bringing up all these creatives and showing another side of the country.
Nice.
But a lot of people who are outside, they have no idea what's happening inside. And we're trying to gap that. I saw an opportunity in the same way that you saw it. I saw an opportunity that there's a gap that a conversation needs to be had.
I love that.
And at the same time, I'm not trying to limit. We always did on the podcast. We never want to lead a conversation. We just want to have the conversation.
Yeah.
You guys can do the conversation on your own. Someone can pick it up and lead it on his own. We want to get more people into all of this.
I like that. And that's what I liked about your show, actually, because,
Sadly.
it's not about, because it's not about echo chambers, right? You
Exactly.
don't want to, you really want to expand and ascend. And I've been coming to Saudi now for 10 years. And the beginnings of my Saudi experience took a lot of convincing. I had a lot of people, friends from LA, New York, London, like, what are you doing in Saudi? One as a woman, two as a Black woman, three as an African in Saudi. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, first of all, there are many people from Africa who live in Saudi who are Saudi.
So many misconceptions.
So many misconceptions. And I actually, as a woman, feel much safer in Saudi than I do in London.
Any Western country.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that, though.
Yeah, I feel safe. I feel that men, there's still a gentlemanly, there's a chivalry to men here that I thank God every day still exists, because, there's a responsibility. And again, this is the old school Roseanne speaking, traditional Roseanne speaking. I still believe in those roles. And thanks to hyper feminism, I won't get into it too much because I might get torn down, but I don't really believe...
You might get torn down by me. Don't worry about them.
I'll explain.
You worry about us right now.
Please let me.
Yeah, go ahead.